Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. We opened up quite crazy today. Super mega bullish. Insane gap up. Or I guess morning for me, afternoon for a lot of y'all. We canceled it for today. I decided to sleep in a bit. So we're gonna have it next week. But we had an insane gap up from last week. Looks like a gap up of just about 200 points. And then in addition to that,
in 5 minutes
a
time now, at the
move
top of the hour, the
of
US is
another
due to sell $70 billion in
200
five
or so
minutes.
points.
The prior high yield
So
was
overall, the
3.71%,
NASDAQ is up
and the prior
400
bid cover
points right
was
now.
2.34.
Insane
The
move.
US is also due
And
to
I think
sell
a
$86
big
billion
reason
in 3-month bills,
why this is
with a
happening
prior
is
high yield of
because,
3.81%
let's see here.
and a prior bid to cover of 3.01.
Apparently, investors are pricing in a 96% chance of a 50 basis point cut from the Federal Reserve. That's a bit nuts. So investors are pricing in 96% chance of a 50 basis point cut at the Fed. And yeah. That's why we got, I guess, a rocket ship today. In my opinion, I think if the Federal Reserve, so one of the things I was thinking of, like, since the previous cut is what would be a realistic, Fed rate decision. And what would be a rate decision that would be like, oh, everything's fine, everything's looking good? Or versus a rate decision where the economy is not looking so hot? What are we going to do? And with investors pricing in a 50-point basis cut, to me, that, like, if the Fed actually does do that, that's probably them seeing some issues in the economy. I feel like if they're going for the whole soft landing and everything, a quarter basis point cut, I would think would be what they would go for. But the fact that a lot of people are pricing in 50 basis points, that would probably signal some issues, I would think. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that exactly. Looking for the short, there's only been one unfilled gap in the past 2 years, and that was an oversold with the release of good news in the non-NYC hours. You just want them or Congress to reinstate the usury laws related to credit card interest rates. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised by this gap up. Pretty crazy. So, I mean, let me just go here real quick. Let's see here. So I'll show you real quick what I've got here. What's going on? My Stream Deck not working? There it is. Okay, so here's the SP, here's the NASDAQ, right? So this is what I have marked out on my graph so far. So far, the NASDAQ has been in this mega channel. So this is that first sell-off back in February, March timeframe. I guess April too. But there was a little bit of this buy and sell situation here. Dropped down, got bought up, and it got into this channel. So as you can see here, support at the bottom of this channel, and then resistance at the top. So there have been some like mega trends up here at the top multiple
expecting the
times.
results for the US 5-year notes
It's
auction
been kind
and
of
the
up here.
3-month bill
This was a
auction.
little bit of a
The pre-sale win issued yield for the 5-year
narrower
notes comes
channel,
at the top of the hour.
and it
The auction
widened a
results
bit,
often
sat
follow
up
2
here
months
pretty
afterward.
crazily, and then, you know, consolidated a bit, pushed up again to the top of this channel, sat around the top, then boom. That really big sell-off that we saw, what is that, 2 weeks ago now? That 1,000-point sell-off, or even more than 1,000 points, over 1,000-point sell-off, that was actually just coming down to the bottom of this channel. It swept through just a little bit by about 200 points or so. But overall, it kind of sat and held this channel. If you can see here, like, once it came back up here, consolidating, it was bouncing off that channel. And now, we caught some support above it, and then rammed all the way to the top of the channel and are actually peeking through. So there's only been a couple times with this channel where it's peeked through like that, and that is back here on July 31st. It peeked through, and then massive rejection. August 13th, peeked through slightly, and then rejected over the next few days. Peeked through September 22nd, stayed up, and next day rejected hard. And then I guess October 8th and 9th. So what happened here is we got a massive gap up, and it has peeked through pretty crazily out of the channel. So I'm kind of thinking, hey, I mean, it's possible this stays up here today, and then maybe it does a sell-off, starting overnight trading and into tomorrow. But it is a pretty insane swing up. So I would think there would definitely be some kind of retracement. I would think a gap fill would happen as well. A gap fill would actually be a pullback of about 350 points from its current level. So it'll be interesting to see what really happens here. But I have opened up shorts around the 900 level. So at about a little before the 900 level. So I do have a short, pretty big short opened up, and I would like to see even just intraday, even like a small retracement, I'd be fine with too, about 50 or so points.
High rate 3.625%,
yeah, that's where we're at right now.
3.625% compared to the pre-sale when issued.
Business lines, any giveaway? I don't have any evals to give away right now, brother.
3.8 to spot 3.8.
Think power hour will be a sell-off? Yeah, I guess if we don't see it, if we don't see it in the next hour, I would think maybe the last hour of the market you'd get it. The problem with like such a crazy gap up is that you're gonna get a lot of short squeezes, because I guarantee you there were people that were shorting here.
The 5-year auction there stopped
because what we had was
1 basis point.
What we had was a little bit of a peek through, made all-time highs, and then we got weakness here. So there's a potential of a lot of people possibly adding into shorts here into the weekend with uncertainty and with everything. Those people are getting squeezed out right now. And like how this has been moving, especially since New York Open, it has been looking like a massive short squeeze. So since New York Open, we've actually moved just about 100 points. And it's probably a lot of it just fueled by shorts getting squeezed out of their positions. I mean, who knows? Maybe there are new buyers coming in, and they're like, let's launch this thing to 26, 27K. Let's just jump in, get our position here, averaging up their position, whatever it may be. But it's really hard to say, because I mean, this a massive gap up with like uncertainty still on the horizon. So it's interesting to see how the market's been moving these past several months. Like, we got some of our we didn't get volatility in September, crazy enough. Like, based on back testing and everything. August, September, you usually get a little bit of down days. But yeah, August and, well, I guess July 31st and August 1st, we did get a little bit of a pullback. That was actually about 1,000-point pullback there over 2 days. We did get that. We got a little bit here in mid-August, starting August 13th, a little bit of a sell-off. Also, about 1,000 points. So I guess there was a bit of volatility. But the fact that we haven't seen, like, any real retracement was kind of surprising. Because, like, these pullbacks are not even, like, retracements, really. I mean, they're retracements, but these are not, like, the type of pullbacks that you would want to see, in August, in September, and October. Like, it's been grinding up. I mean, like, let's take a look at our moving averages real quick. Inflation is awesome when compounding. With the ZERP, we ain't seen nothing yet. I mean, yeah. Gold is slowly grinding up, is it? I mean, yeah, gold could have possibly found a bottom of that 4K level. I would think that's a strong psychological level, who knows? Gold long play might be decent. Oh, Zimbabwe. Yeah, true. USD is about to be the same. Anyways, so looking at the moving averages on the NASDAQ, let's go to the daily moving averages. So on the daily, we haven't even hit the 100 EMA on the daily. This is like a really good one that gets tested like so often usually, even in bull markets. It gets tested a lot. The fact that after that May area, when we got this gap up here above that 100 EMA, it didn't even stay under it very, very long. It just gapped up over it. Ever since then, we haven't even touched it. Currently, the 100 EMA is at about 23,700. So the closest we got to that was the 24,200 level or so that we got in a single day drop. But like, we haven't actually even touched the 100 EMA. And like, looking back, during a bull market, we have the 100 EMA touch very often. Comes back and touches a lot. It's like, it touches a lot. You see this? You get like massive run-ups, and it touches. Like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then it breaks below. This was into the new year of 2022, went into a little bear market, and then got back above, boom, touches, and then sometimes touches the 200 EMA. So it's like, in a nice bull market, it touches often. What we've seen here is insane. It's crazy. This is like, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? Like, look at this on the weekly. Like, on the weekly, I guess you'd probably be looking at like the 21 EMA maybe. That's this yellow line. But like, on the weekly, look how this looks. Usually, on the weekly, like looking back to 2020, on the weekly, boom, 21 EMAs touching so many times, even though it's like rallying very well, touches very many times. I mean, after the COVID crash, all the way up to the peak of the 2021 kind of bubble-ish time frame, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches. During the 2023 big rally, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then like infinite number in here. But then we look here. We had a panic sell and then 0 touches. 0 touches. It just got into this insane buying channel. This bullish channel. And yeah, just hasn't even come down. Mango, good morning. So anyways, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. It's just pretty crazy. And like a lot of you guys have mentioned before that, you know, it could be like everybody's pricing a hyperinflation, and that's definitely most likely the case. You know, we can see that with gold. Gold is well, gold has rallied to insane numbers, and gold has had like one of the biggest rallies in history, or at least for like, I don't know, maybe multiple decades. It's been like one of the craziest rallies, crazy overextended. So I guess with that, you can kind of see like, yeah, investors are worried about holding the dollar, having any like actual dollar exposure. They want gold, they want assets. And like regarding assets, you know, tech's been doing insanely well because tech is just I don't know, tech's kind of turning into like the new safe haven, it feels like, because like all of these tech stocks, they have insane margins. So they could not lay off anybody, and then we enter a recession and they'll still be hitting like 20% net margin. If they lay off like half of their force, they're going to be sitting at around 40% net margin. So it's like it's kind of crazy to see how tech has been getting rotated into during some of the times of uncertainty. And then when you have your, you know, safe haven stocks or your defensives, like kind of being sleepers in the back. I mean, healthcare did rally pretty decently with uncertainty coming in, but it's just surprising to see that tech wasn't getting rotated out of very much. It was more of some of the other consumer staples and whatnot, or consumer discretionary. You're up 1,300 on both your fundeds. Nice. You've been trading gold more often since because of the volatility. Yeah, I mean, gold honestly does seem like it's got some good trades. I haven't really been paying attention to it much, but yeah, I definitely feel like I missed some really good trades on gold, especially when you saw the double top on gold in the rejection. Like, yeah, super nice short potential there for that. Yeah, right now we're sitting around that 900 level. Super mega bullish. We have kind of slowed down momentum here though. A bit momentum slowing down. Lynette, good morning. So momentum slowed down, and let's just look what I'd want to target.
According to the Financial Times, the UK is seeking a quote-unquote steel club with
These
the US and the EU
these
to tackle
three
Chinese oversupply.
targets right here are probably a little bit unrealistic with how bullish this has moved up since. Let's see. 15-minute orb played out. Actually, 15-minute orb technically failed today. It did close a 5-minute candle, gave an entry, but it did come down through the stop loss area. Not that wide of a range either on the 15-minute orb. Opening 15-minute range is about 62 points, so 31 points of risk you'd take on the trade, and it does draw down from the entry. 31 points would be risk, and it drew down about 36 points, so that would be a technical stop out. But TP1 did hit, TP2 is at about 25,923.
We have posted the FT
Overall,
article on the feed
super
for those
bullish
interested.
trend so far, but starting to slow down slightly. Is someone talking today? Any Fed speakers? No, we don't. We don't have anybody. We have a couple. We have some 5-year notes, six-month bills, and 2-year notes that we're done. That's about it for today. There was some German IFO stuff, Hong Kong exports, imports. That's about it. Yeah, not too much data today or people speaking.
We are shortly expecting results from the Fed reverse repo facility.
So 900 on these pullbacks, 900 has held. What kind of a retracement would still be bullish? Guess maybe a 25,550. Sorry, 25,850. Maybe it would still be a bullish retracement. I mean, technically, even a pullback to like 25,800 or 25,790 would still be bullish. Let's see what our RSI is looking like. Daily, we're not overbought. On the 4-hour, though, we're at 76 RSI. So we are pretty overbought on the 4-hour. The last time we were that overbought, it was back in September 16th through September 22nd. So we stayed overbought for quite a while, and we did get way higher RSI. We got into the 80s. Right now we're only at 76. But I kind of do pay attention to that channel, and we're above that channel right now. A bullish retest of this channel would be a test of 25K as well. Maybe a level that I'll be paying attention to maybe this week, because we do have some data coming out this week. Couple big things. So I mean, we got a bunch of earnings this week, so there's that. But let's just go over. So today we don't have much, right? Tomorrow we have PayPal earnings, Visa earnings, and that's about it. And just like some bonds and bills. United Health earnings. Interesting. United Health earnings is actually going to be tonight. It's going to be at, well, sort of tonight, early this morning. It'll be at 5:55 Eastern time tomorrow. So 5:55 in the morning. That's United Health. I'm actually kind of curious about that earnings, because we got some United Health in that 10K challenge portfolio, and we also got PayPal as a holding. So it'll be interesting to see that. The PayPal one's actually probably going to give us some good financial health of the economy, you know, transactions, all that kind of stuff. Same with Visa. Wednesday, we've got some mortgage stuff. Okay, we got Caterpillar earnings and Verizon earnings on Wednesday. And we're also going to have Bank of China, their rate decision. It looks like their investors are expecting a 0.25% cut for them. And then for the US FOMC interest rate decision, it looks like, or it's not investors, sorry, it's forecast. So the forecast for the U.S. interest rate decision is only 0.25%. But like I was saying, investors are pricing in at 96% that it's going to be 50 basis points, not 25 basis points. But the forecast is 25 basis points. So that's going to be on Wednesday. Okay. And then we'll have that same day Microsoft, Meta, Google, Starbucks, and eBay earnings. All of those. That's going to be pretty huge. I'm going to be most excited for the Google earnings because that's what I'm holding in the 10K challenge. Thursday we got a lot of different international data coming in, a lot. But we're going to have US GDP quarter over quarter. We're going to have the ECB rate. We're going to have Tokyo CPI. Okay, and then we're also going to have Amazon, Apple earnings on Thursday. And then Friday, we have more international, all kinds of stuff. We're going to get US PCE, core PCE, consumer spending. And that's about it. So this week is going to be packed, guys. This week is going to be absolutely packed. And I think we might see some volatility. I mean, like right now, with how the market's been moving, with how a lot of the Mag 7's been moving, everything is priced for perfection. So one slip up could get very nasty. So it's like, it's one of those things where like I kind of want to keep holding, you know, something like Google. PayPal I'm not as worried about because PayPal's like super down bad. So like even if they have bad earnings, I don't think PayPal's just gonna dump. It's like it's at good value at the price it's at right now. But for something like Google, well, Google I feel like is just slightly overvalued right now at its current price, even though it's at all-time highs. But something like Apple, Amazon, what other ones? I mean, definitely Tesla, Meta possibly as well. If they slip up on earnings, oh man, like we're gonna see huge moves to the downside, because like everything, like I said, is priced to perfection. You know, people are buying up these stocks before earnings, and pricing for perfection, pricing for like the most ideal economic outcome. And yeah, one misstep and it's gonna be timber. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Looking at our stocks though, Tesla's above that 450 level. I actually broke through the 450 resistance. I haven't been checking the options on Tesla, so I don't know if it's like super positive gamma now with 450, but I'll probably try to update or keep myself updated on that. Maybe later this evening I'll look into it. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know if Tesla call levels have shifted maybe to like 470 or 475 or maybe even 500. Because if that happens, then yeah, it's probably going to move up quite a bit. But if the majority of calls are sitting at 450, Tesla's probably going to, here, if I show you guys, here's Tesla, for example. Here's about the 450 level right here. So this was the call resistance, and then the put support I think it was about 420 maybe, 410 maybe, somewhere around there. So you could see it stayed between those both. So I don't know how positive gamma it is, like I said. Okay, curling down a little bit below the 900 level. Let's see if we can continue. S&P pulling back a little bit more than the NASDAQ. Our NASDAQ, our QQQ to S&P ratio, quite positive. Big rotation into tech, and we haven't seen these levels for how long? We actually have not seen these levels for many years. We're actually, I don't even know if this is all-time highs, because the furthest back I can see is 2019, I think. Oh, wait, let's see. I'm about to check this real quick. This is interesting. No way. Guys, we're at like all-time highs. Here, let me see this real quick. Okay, look at this, guys. Do you see this? This is the QQQ versus the SPY. QQQ versus the SPY. You see this? This is the ratio. We're at all-time highs. This is the tech bubble right here. You see this? That was the Qs to the S&P ratio. This was into 2020. Here was the 2021 bubble right here. So it was at 0.86. Right now we're at all-time highs. Wow. I mean, this is nuts. We're actually at all-time highs on this ratio. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if rotation happens at some point. It might get nasty. Wow. Very interesting. I'm actually surprised. We're above .com level. What chart is that again? That is the QQQ divided by the SPY. So it's just basically getting a ratio of stock growth, you know, of the S&P versus the NASDAQ. Very interesting. So either the S&P ends up just like rallying like crazy and going to the moon and bringing the ratio down a little bit, or or the NASDAQ and S&P are gonna dump at some point, and the NASDAQ dumps like way harder than the S&P. Okay, let me just do some math here. 100, 300, 700. $1,700. $2,600. 600. $2,600 and 3,600. 3,800. Okay. So that move would be 3,800. Okay. So it would be nice to see a sweep of the bottom of the 15-minute orb, but I don't know how realistic that'll be. We're getting our first sell signal on Frick's indicator. So it's one you kind of have to take with a grain of salt right now because overall we're super bullish. There could be a lot more squeezing to come, but we did get our first sell signal. So first sell signal since market open. Very first sell signal here. So if 900 rejects, goes lower. Let's see, 3,600. Could maybe do this right here. Or maybe right here. There we go. Okay. First sell signal on Frick's indicator. Also on the breakdown and breakout indicator. Technically, could draw like a trend line here. And I guess this potentially already broke this trend line. But let's see here. Think you would have something along the lines of this, maybe. Possibly. You have average short entry at 25,600. What do you think? Oh, 25,600. That one's a tough one, brother. I don't know if it'll hit 2,600 today. It's got to dump a lot. Like, I mean, think about it. It's got to drop 300 points just to get you to break even. That's a lot, bro. I would want it to. I feel like that would be the absolute bottom if it drops down to 25,600. Like, it could possibly happen today, but it's going to require some very bad news. And, like, the absolute bottom I think it would hit would be, like, 25,600. That'd be 50% retracement. Yeah, steal Trump's phone. Yeah, true. Anyways, on that breakdown indicator, if we break below 25,870 and we stay below that, that would be a breakdown signal, average move of about 70 points. So that would probably take us to about 25,800 on the average move, which would mean we would get down to test these lows here. So if we break below, like I said, 25,870 and stay below. So what would that look like? That would be a sweep of these levels here. Be a sweep of that. And if it stays below, then we would probably sweep these two lows here and get to this level. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. What about here? I could take like this. Quick one. Is there an opening gap in that area as well? Well, the gap fill would be lower. If it were to fill the gap, that would be 25,510, I guess. 25,500, 25,510. So it could fill the gap, but it's hard to say that will happen today. I think it'll happen this week. So if you're able to hold the entire week, I think there's higher potential that it happens this week because we're going to have a lot of events this week that are going to cause some volatility. Well, one sec, give me a second. All right, we're back. Okay. Got a little tiny increase of volume here. Just slight increase. And now it's buyers stepping in. I'm surprised buyers are defending these levels here. It's kind of crazy. They're really trying to squeeze out as many shorts as possible. I mean, it's possible this thing runs to like 26K today. There's potential for it. 26K would be up almost 2% on the day. Definitely a possibility, one that I gotta watch out for. So that'd be deadly. You're considering closing your shorts since you think it will be bullish this week? I mean, yeah, it might be a good idea. But here, I'll show again what I'm thinking. This is my thoughts. These are my thoughts, but I don't think like this is not gospel or anything like that. This is just my thoughts. But also these were graphed out on previous contracts. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But overall, I had this channel marked out. Anytime price got above this channel, it rejected decently well back into the channel. Right now, we've peaked out of the channel quite significantly, like a lot more than all previous times it's peaked out before. So when I see this, I'm like, it's overbought. So that's why I'm liking the short, but I'm also not liking it at the same time. But like we are pretty dang overbought and overextended, I think. But like this could go further. Like if we look at some previous like super extensions slash gap ups and then extensions. I mean, we see this down here as a gap up and then extension and a continuation. But like this was also after a massive sell-off. So like this would make sense, and it broke through a resistance slash previous support level. So it makes sense for this move to go here. Like here we had like a decent run up, but this was like a run up that was basically, it finally broke through these all-time highs and then went for an all-time high hunt to the top. But like after that, let's see here. We had a gap up here. A gap up here that actually perfectly filled, by the way, with this massive 1,000-point sell-off. Perfect gap fill, like almost to the dollar. But we had this gap up, and then after that, it was no like crazy run. It was a bit of consolidation and volatility. And that was like after a small grind up here. So I don't know. We already got kind of the grind up in volatility here, and we gapped up here. So it's like, my thought process is that this at least retraces some during this week. Like during this week, I would think that this at least halfway gap fills, kind of how it did here. where you had this big run up and it kind of stayed like this throughout the day. It was just full on bullish. But then you got some consolidation and then a little bit of a gap fill the 2 days after. So that was about a half gap fill there. I would think we would get at least a half gap fill. Like I was saying, that's 25,650. Pretty extended. So I get if there's, you know, if there's possibility of holding a position throughout the week, I feel like at these levels it would play out decently. But that's like assuming you're able to sit through drawdown for multiple days. Because like I said, this can definitely keep going higher. Just what goes up like crazy does come down, at least some. It has more to do with front-running the fiat currency collapse than short covering. I mean, yeah, possibly. But like we've had so many like fiat currency collapse scares like over the past multiple decades. And it's like not much happened, you know what I mean? Like gold has had crazy run-ups many times before, specifically for that fact. Like it definitely makes sense and like it will play out over time, but like I don't think it's something that plays out, you know, within a year, within 5 years, maybe not even within 10 years. The Treasury and the Fed are planning to be adding $1 trillion new dollars every 3 months. Is that actually official? Man, look at this squeeze. This is crazy. Pretty crazy squeeze. They were doing 1 trillion every 100 days before the shutdown. It always gets worse after a shutdown. Gotcha. I guess so. Jeez Louise, look at that. This is definitely short covering. You see that? You see that volume on this candle? That is definitely short covering. That was massive. ES was lagging. Now it looks like it's trying to get to the ONH spike. Yeah, I guess so. I mean the S&P is lagging pretty significantly overall. Because that tech ratio is just continuing to rise. Wow, and we got like no retracement almost at all. Buy signal appeared on Frick's indicator as well on that huge jump. That's what I was saying. Just be careful because like a sell signal could appear, but this like overall has been just trending up and squeezing people out of their positions. It's pretty rough though. Okay, we got an hour 15 till power hour. We got... Okay. Yeah, we got no news. No news to move it either way. I mean, it's squeezing. No doubt about that. Okay, RSI on 1 minute overbought, 2 minute, 3 minute not yet, 5 minute not yet, 15 minute not yet, 30 minute is a bit. Hourly is now up to 87 RSI. Why overbought on their hourly? On the hourly, this is actually the most it's been overbought. Oh wow. Guys, on the hourly, this is the most it's been overbought since, like, I don't even know how long ago. Guys, this is the most overbought it's been, like, all year. Wow. On the 1 hour RSI. Super, super overbought. The crazy thing is, with this, how overbought it is, this could squeeze massively. 87 RSI. 4 hours not as crazily overbought. It's at 76 RSI, but on the hourly, very overbought. Qualcomm announced they came out with a chip that is better than NVIDIA chips. Yeah, I heard about that. NVIDIA's finally getting some competition. That's like one of the reasons why I thought NVIDIA was extremely overvalued, is because, like, the only reason they're able to do so well right now is because they have, like, no competition. They have massive margins. You know what I mean? Right when you get competition, you gotta cut margin. It's like NVIDIA, if they get more competition, it's yeah. If they get competition, it's kind of dump city for that stock. Doesn't matter how overbought, your trading bot's only taking longs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, only longs are playing out right now. That's crazy. Doesn't look pretty. I'm already out of coffee. And that's TP2 that hit now on the 15-minute orb. Like I said, it wasn't a successful one because it did get a technical stop out today. massive. So we had a super mega trend to the upside, stagnated a bit, broke below that trend, so broke that trend, looked bearish, and then squeezed massively here, stopped out a bunch of shorts. Bot has taken 18 trades since 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday all longs. Nice. Hey, well played, man. That bot made you some moolah. Are you still doing 1 micro on that bot each time? Even with 1 micro, that's probably really good. Nice. Not bad. Plus 472. Nice, not bad. That's really good with only 1 micro. Okay. S&P did get to its high that it hit overnight. So, or I guess yesterday evening, kind of hit that level. So 6,900 on the S&P is probably going to be decent resistance, and it's kind of sitting around that level right now. So NASDAQ like moved way past it, but here I'll show you on the S&P. So the S&P gapped up, rallied massively, rejected hard off 68.97, so pretty much 6,900, and then slowly has grinded up to that level, and right now it's kind of sitting right there. Now if we compare that to the NASDAQ, I mean, completely different story. NASDAQ gapped up, came up to that 25, rejected hard off 25,790-ish, so pretty much 25,800. It rallied up and broke through and just rallied like crazy. The S&P, not as crazy. So if we look at the S&P, same kind of channel as what I was showing on the NASDAQ. Same kind of bullish channel that it's been sitting in, like that. A little bit cleaner too. It did respect these levels a bit more. The NASDAQ kind of overshot multiple times. But if we're looking at the S&P, like on the S&P, it could come through like 69.18, 69.15. NASDAQ just seems to overshoot kind of these levels. Because I had these charted out from previous movements, but I don't know, the NASDAQ seems to overshoot quite often, both to the upside and to the downside. And so it's hard to say, like, how far it overshoots, you know what I mean? And I feel like I need to cut some risk here. There's like almost no retracements coming in. Missed the 200-point gap up Sunday open. Wasn't in the market. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody expected such a gap up. Kind of crazy. I definitely was not expecting it. I really need this to retrace some so I could cut some risk, but I don't know if it will or not. I think I need to cut some risk right now. Hmm.
Order filled. Order filled.
Trying to cut some risk here. Saying it looks like it wants to short squeeze more.
Order filled.
This thing's just stuck. I'm literally trying to cut risk and it's like not even
Order
pulling back
filled.
even 1
Order
point.
filled.
It's crazy. Yeah, I cut some risk here. A little bit of a battle happening here, guys. super stagnant on 25,930. Definite battle going on. I mean, it's low volume, but there's still definitely a little bit. There's still some volume, but the price is just pinned right now. Sure, yeah. Thanks. Okay, 1 hour till power hour. Okay. Buyers really trying to push this thing. Trying to push on a mega squeeze. It's already been a mega squeeze. See what the hourly candles look like. Hourly mega squeeze candles. Let's see, what about the 4 hour? So 50% retracement of this previous 4 hour candle would be 25,875. It wouldn't be much of a retracement. It's nuts. Huge run up. I actually really hope Take Profit Trader doesn't stop doing their sale. I just thought about it. Take Profit Trader, literally when I first started trading with them, they would only have their 40% sale for like a couple weeks at a time, kind of like Apex. They've been running this 40% sale for a while now. So I hope they don't just end it at a random point and then just stop until like Christmas or something. Hope they continue having the 40%er. It kind of suck. If they were to cut it, I would probably have to go to Apex or something. Or maybe trade day, but trade day only does like 30%. Well, it's basically an enter with the trend on weakness, looking for the exhaustions of a pullback, enter long and set stop
According
at
to the financial
2.4 ATR. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. So technically that bot
According to the
is
Financial
profitable as long
Times,
as it
UK's Office for
wins
Budget Responsibility is
over
expected to cut
60%
its
of its
trend
trades.
productivity
Or
growth
sorry, over like
forecast by about
40%.
0.3 percentage points.
Or like 30-something%, I think, right? It'd have to be like, maybe even, wait, 2.4. So about 30% win rate would be profitable on that, using that bot. It's pretty cool. Okay, price is just pinned up here.
We have put out the article from the Financial Times on the feed for those interested.
Today it's only lost 2 trades. Yeah. Yeah, it was a strong trend today. It's been a strong trend today. It's crazy. Just multiple super trends being intact, like all day and all night. Dow's actually like super flat on the day. That's interesting. It gapped up and it's just like super flat and actually trending down slightly. Gold is looking like it's rallying a bit, but it's testing some moving averages that it has rejected off multiple times previously. Gold may potentially be a good long at some point here soon if it stays in this uptrend. If we do get some weakness in the S&P or the NASDAQ, we're probably going to see gold rally. It's testing a previous support right now, so testing a resistance currently. How many buyers are up here? So crazy. This candle right here had a little bit of volume. Buyers are just holding it up. Like, look at this. They're just holding it up and squeezing out shorts. I don't know. This is interesting movement, guys. If we survive the drawdown on this, I think end of day, especially with market on close, I think this like dumps at least gets us a really nice retracement. I feel like with it being so overextended, you just got to be able to survive the drawdown. So if this were to pull back, remember how I was saying the 4-hour candle, 50% retracement would be 25,875? That would actually align perfectly with this this trend line where the strongest support came in. We'll pull back to 25,875 would be exactly that, basically. It basically hit approximately this trend line here. It's about a 50 or so point pullback. But it's possible no pullbacks come in like at all today too. Hoping for an end of day take profit, but it's possible no pullbacks come in today and they come in maybe overnight. We really want to see that gap filled though this week. You get a kick out of all these bearish market gurus expecting a 40 to 60% market decline? Yeah, that probably won't happen. But to see like a 10 or 20%er, I think that's a possibility. 40 to 60 would be, I think, way too much. Let's see. Well, I guess if we were to go into a bear market, let's see, based on 200 weekly EMA, we could see 19K hit, which would be a 6K drop, which that'd be about 25, almost 30%, somewhere around there. 10 seconds. 10 seconds till what? 10 seconds till a 40% drop?
Order filled.
In order for the stock market to go down 40 to 60%, the big institutions would have to dump their holdings. And they won't do it because it's an inflation hedge. Yeah. But I think like 20 to 30 is definitely possible. It'd be institutions probably dumping like 50% of what they're holding. And then dumb money coming in and selling off. So it'd probably be like a 5 to 10% maybe pullback with institutions dumping. And then dumb money coming in and selling and dumping it further to like 20, 30%. The institutions buying back in. based on just how the market has been moving over the past like decades, I think it's very, very possible and very probable that that does happen. It's just like, who knows when.
According to Interfax, Luke Oil intends to sell international assets amid sanctions. Interfax cites Luke Oil's statement on intentions on foreign assets.
Super slow grind up. Guess we got something like this going on here too. Something like this. Awfully slow, yeah. But yeah, taking a look at this, where it's been topping out. You see this? It's like you probably don't want to long right here. It could like massive short squeeze though, like through this, and just like push up and make like a new channel. But realistically, you know, this showed some weakness, rallied back up, short squeezed, kind of tightened up here. Realistically, this probably gives us some retracement. Ideally, I would want it to come down to the bottom of this range, test the bottom of this channel that it's kind of been holding overnight. Well, who knows? Price action is pretty interesting right now. Rallies like these lead to a lot of FOMO, with some FOMOers waiting for every .2 pullback to get in. So likely no significant sell-off until Wednesday. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That, like, how this price action is going, it's yeah. It's a bit crazy, super bullish. You're short from 940? Oh, did you just like oh, you're setting an order at 940? Gotcha. Good luck, brother. But yeah, definitely a lot of FOMO coming into this rally. Just like how the price action is looking, it's yeah, every single dip is getting bought up quick. And it's really like really what is the reasoning for it? You know? Is it because of the potential 50 basis point cut? Is it because earnings are coming up and people think that tech is about to report the craziest earnings of all time? Or is it just because Trump basically was like, hey, we're going into a trade war, and then said, just kidding, and that launches us? Or is it just a mix of all three? Either way, it's pretty nuts. Okay, 32 minutes till power hour hits. People don't like holding on to cash. Yeah, 100%. I forgot. I was looking at the statistics for I forgot what it was called, but it's basically the amount of household cash available for investing. As far as I remember, the number was pretty high, so that's like why we haven't really seen like a crazy pullback in the market. And just because the majority of households like apparently have, you know, good savings and whatnot. So like even with maybe a small slowdown in the economy, which you know, speaking to a lot of people in different businesses, it does seem like the economy has been slowing down, not as much business in different sectors, but the overall household seems to be fairly healthy, I guess. But that's also not taking into account that the amount of credit that households have right now is at all-time highs, and it's like it's good. I mean, it's always going to be at all-time highs over time, because you know, money devalues and everything. But overall, like, it's a huge spike in credit, and it's interesting to see defaults on real estate going up,
December futures settled
things
at
like
around
that.
$61.31 a barrel,
Foreclosures
down
happening
19
in some
cents or
places.
0.31%.
You know, I'm sure you guys have seen, but like in Florida, for example, it was like a couple months ago we were seeing house prices dropping significantly because a bunch of building companies built up in different places in Florida, and they overbuilt, and they're like doing self-financing, and they dropped their house prices by like 30%. It's very interesting to see things like that happening. But the market's like very strong. Even with like super high credit and everything, somehow the US consumer is like still in a decent position. Inflation's like still high. But I'm mostly surprised by investors, like I was saying, pricing in 96% chance of a 50 basis point cut this Wednesday. So after tomorrow. 96% of investors pricing in 50 basis point cut. It's actually nuts. But the forecast is a quarter point or 25 basis point cut. So I guess we'll see what happens on Wednesday. If it honestly, if everybody's pricing in a 50 basis point cut and the Fed comes in with 25 basis point cut or no cut, like the market's gonna tank, I would think. Because like I said, the market right now is pricing in perfection for earnings and also for a 50 basis point cut. I'll be shocked if the Fed cuts by 50 basis points. But I guess the current administration may be successfully pressured them in if they do. I haven't heard much from Jerome Powell. Maybe he did get pressured. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. The FedWatch tool is the only one that holds weight, and it's currently at almost 98% chance of quarter percent. Yeah. So I know the forecast is 98%. That's what I was saying. I was surprised that investors were pricing in 96% for 50 basis points. That's what I was saying. Like, I was surprised by that. Let me just check where I saw that, because it was on Financial Juice somewhere. Precious Markets is hinting it will be a 25 basis point cut. 50 basis points would be a gold move to 5K. Gotcha. I mean, maybe it'll be after the fact for gold. I don't know. It's just weird. And it's what Financial Juice said. And with like this massive rally, I guess I was like, okay, maybe that's what it's looking like for investors.
According to sources, Amazon targets as many as 30,000 job cuts. Amazon job cuts to begin Tuesday.
Maybe Financial Juice just made a mistake. Because I saw Financial Juice posted that. Maybe they made a mistake. Maybe they misspoke and then corrected it. Because I saw it on Financial Juice. And now these big rallies have been fading during the power hour. Yeah. We'll see if it happens again. I saw it on Financial Juice, now I'm not seeing it. Are you taking that away?
Burrito, breakfast burrito.
Oh, but I want this too. Okay, fine, you can take it if you want. Yeah, maybe it was a mistake on Financial Juice. I don't see it now. I think they deleted it now. So they might have mistyped it. Because they I think it was this morning. They put on there like investors are pricing in at 96% of a 50 basis point cut, and I was like shocked by seeing that. I was like, there's no way. So maybe they just mistyped it and then corrected it to 25 basis points. Notice the fade too, but it looks so strong. Yeah, it does. The funny thing is, one comment by Trump, saying, saying something like, "Oh, by the way, we're actually like gonna have issues with China or something." This thing tanks like insanely. But I doubt that. I doubt that happens. But if that were to happen, this thing's like definitely going to close the gap. And he's done that before, but it's usually for stuff that moves the market up. He says something like really negative and then he backtracks on it. And then the market just jumps right back up to where it was. I don't think he's done that really for the downside. Which you know is smart. He wants the stock market to keep rallying. You're shorting at 9:30 with 1 mini. Lol, annoying shorts can't get any meaningful sell. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. China tweet. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty insane that it's up 400, over 400 points. But being up 500 points is not out of the realm of possibilities. We could see 26K today, who knows? Yeah, it's up 400 from the highs. Yeah, that's what's crazy about it. You're right. Yeah, because it was like the all-time high was 25. Wait, where was it? Yeah, that's it. 25. Let's just say 25,400. It's actually 500 points, over 500 points above. Well, actually, never mind. We had all-time highs right here. So yeah, 400 points, 350, 400 points above the previous all-time high. Yeah, that is crazy. Okay, this just dropped 5 minutes ago. You guys might have already heard it, but Amazon targets as many as 30,000 job cuts to begin on Tuesday. So let me see how Amazon is moving based on that. I would assume it's bullish. I guess not really. Amazon actually kind of chopped around on that news and turning a little bit more bearish on that news. Interesting. I guess that could potentially be a little bit of an economic bellwether there. Wow, and this is squeezing higher. Every single dip being bought up. Well, job cuts. Yeah, job cuts are not good for the market, but it's good, I guess, for specific companies like Amazon. But Amazon is not rallying right now. What
Fitch
is
Ratings
rallying?
says US banks regulatory framework moving toward de facto consolidation.
What does that mean? Okay, Nvidia's not rallying, Netflix is not rallying, Broadcom's not rallying, Meta's not rallying, Apple's not rallying, Amazon's not rallying, Oracle's not rallying, Tesla kind of rallying, I guess, but it started selling off. Google's rallying. Google and Microsoft. What the heck? How's the NASDAQ up so high? It's so high right now. A lot of these big stocks are like barely moving up. It's literally Google that's just like squeezing high. Google's up almost 4%. Is Google literally like holding this thing up right now? This is nuts. My goodness. If these other stocks like
Qualcomm shares
squeeze
rise
right
in
now,
volume spike, last up 12.7%.
if these other stocks start squeezing right now, this thing is flying. Oh my.
According to sources, Amazon job cuts represent nearly 10% of its corporate workers. Brent crude futures settle at $65.62 a barrel, down 32 cents or 0.49%.
U.S. banks regulatory framework moving toward de facto consolidation. I don't even know what that means. Investors think buying high is a good discount price. Job cuts good for the market. $14 minutes till power hour. My drawdown is dangerously low. I mean, wow. Google and Microsoft, I guess, moving. Tesla kind of starts selling off. Oracle's selling off. Amazon looks like it might be a little bit bearish. Apple's been chopping around back and forth. Possibly rejects here. Meta's been kind of selling off after the gap up. Broadcom, I guess, rallying a little bit. And then Nvidia looks like it's kind of selling off from the gap up. And Netflix, kind of the same thing. Looks like it wants to sell off. I don't know. This is interesting stuff, guys. Interesting stuff. Okay, 11 minutes till power hour. See if we finally get some kind of pullback. Starting to see it on Tesla. Tesla had a nice little sell-off here. Continuing lower. Microsoft's still pushing higher. Google's pulling back a little bit. Tesla looks like it's selling. Oracle might sell. Okay, Amazon just dumped, actually. Wow, okay. Amazon just had a massive volume spike to the downside and then massive buy up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, not massive, but Amazon did just fall like 1% within less than a minute. Right now it's down about 0.5%. Apple's pushing upward. Meta looks like it might start selling off here. Broadcom's rallying. Nvidia pushing up. I don't get it. That was just a big sell on Amazon, though. Really big volume. Really, really big volume on Amazon. Out of nowhere and just dropped. But on the NASDAQ, no reaction. I mean, take a look at this. Really big volume drop. And then looking at the other stocks, it's like they're all kind of moving a little bit. Tesla's selling off though. Right here. Google's holding like a mega trend to the upside. And then Microsoft kind of rallying up too. You were in profit for 3 points on NASDAQ and it popped up so fast. Yeah, I mean, this is holding somehow. See if Tesla and Amazon could bring this baby down. Power hour in 8 minutes. Not that it's gonna really matter. Probably won't see nothing until market on close. Few bucks for Tesla is nothing. It can range from 20 to 30 sometimes in an hour. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Tesla is up 5% today. And 450 was a pretty strong resistance for a while. If it can get back below 450, that could move the NASDAQ nice and good to the downside. Just like so many of these stocks, man, they're holding up. Like Microsoft's still rallying. Apple looks like it's breaking out to the upside. Really mixed. Someone has to take profits. I don't know. The good diamond hand. The good diamond hand and squeeze out every short possible. Wow. Pushing higher. What is pushing it? Apple's pushing. My goodness. Apple and Microsoft are pushing. It's getting dangerous. Yeah, this is only up. Staying hopeful, but the hope is starting to fade.
Order filled. Order filled.
Very, very dangerous. The Russell's not rallying like there will be a 0.5% cut. Yeah, the Russell's moving kind of interesting too compared to S&P and NASDAQ.
Order filled.
This might be over, guys. Trying to get a little drawdown back here. I did not expect a run like this with no retracement. This will go to 26K today, possibly, yeah. Okay, 2 minutes till power hour. Fully unpredictable market. I mean, it seems pretty predictable if you play with the trends. It's been nowhere but up. Okay, Google's pulling back a bit here. Got a pretty big volume spike on Google. So many of these stocks are just breaking out. They're like taking turns breaking out. Some of these Mag 7 stocks, they're like starting to sell off, and then like a couple other of them are just starting to break out. They just keep taking turns breaking out. Go long and have diamond hands? I don't know about that. Okay, power hour has officially started.
Order filled. Order filled.
AMD powers US sovereign AI factory supercomputers, accelerating an open American AI stack.
Hmm. See if we get a 900 level retest. The price bounced off your entry. Oh gosh.
AMD say when fully deployed, Lux and Discovery Systems will represent a combined $1 billion investment of private and public funding. Lux AI supercomputer will be powered by AMD and housed at Oak Ridge National Labs.
Okay, 55 minutes left of market open. Want to see a little bit of retracement here. I'd like to see a sweep of this low here. Want to see a sweep of this low, test of this trend line. And I feel like market on close today is going to be to the downside because of this overextension. With it being so overextended, I would think there's going to be some end of day rotation to balance out portfolios, and I think NASDAQ might get some rotation out of it. So that's my thought process and why I think I want to kind of diamond hand this.
Lux AI supercomputer will be deployed in early 2026.
According to Carisco's trading system that uses stochastic divergences, you got to sell at 3 p.m. Eastern time on the dot. Ah, interesting. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, looking at the individual Mag 7 stocks though, it's I don't know. It's the smaller stocks that are really pushing this NASDAQ up. I mean, Apple and Google, I guess, are pushing it up decently, and Microsoft a bit, but it's like a lot of those smaller stocks. So like if there's rotation out of those smallers into the bigger ones, like the NASDAQ could push up still. We'll see. Like I said, I think I want to diamond hand this. Okay, Nvidia's getting back below VWAP. Back below VWAP, 190 seems to be a support, so it needs to break below 190. Tesla, not yet to its VWAP, but if it can get below its VWAP and break below 450, that would be really good. Google's testing its 5-minute 21 EMA. Google's up 3.3% on the day. Amazon's testing some bearish moving averages right now. Could hopefully make a lower leg here potentially. But who knows? It's overall bullish. Okay, big push.
Order filled.
If they push it above this wick, that's gonna short squeeze. Sellers need to get back in control here. We're also at the tapping the top Bollinger Band. So you're kind of sitting at the top Bollinger Band here too, so it did pop out here just for this little squeeze up. Currently rejecting the top of it though. Yeah, if it squeezes up, it's game over. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I see Amazon is looking to move to make a lower leg. So it has rejected those moving averages. Okay, Nvidia is now below VWAP. So it got below VWAP, came up, tested it, and now staying below VWAP. Broadcom's still moving up. Meta came up to VWAP and is rejecting off of it currently, but it does look kind of bullish. Apple continues to squeeze up. Apple is squeezing up like massively. Okay, so Apple's squeezing up. Amazon made that rejection, came down. Okay, and then Oracle. Oracle's below VWAP. Oracle's below VWAP. It kind of is sitting on support. And then Tesla, okay, Tesla had a big bounce off 543. Bounced up and then rejecting now. Okay. Google selling off a little bit. Okay, Google's below its 21 EMA. Here, I'll show you guys on the graph. Sorry, I haven't been showing it. So Netflix basically not doing much. Here's Nvidia. So Nvidia got below VWAP, retested, coming back down. So it needs to break this leg here. Starting to sell off. Broadcom just rallying. Meta, you can see here, Meta came up, tested VWAP, rejecting, but it's overall, you know, kind of chilling here. Apple, really big squeeze up. Need to see Apple come back down, at least get some retracement. But Amazon, if you can see here, big sell-off, came up to the 5-minute 9 EMA, rejected, or the 21 EMA on the 1 minute, so rejected. But it does look like there might be some support right here. So we kind of need to see Amazon fall below that and stay below. Oracle, kind of same thing. So Oracle's like down a bit, but it's kind of sitting at a support level here. And then Tesla starting to look a little bit bearish, but it is above VWAP. And 450, VWAP's at 452, but 450 is going to be most likely a support level, because that's what the buyers need to keep it above, I think, to keep it in positive gamma. But here's Google. Google, massive rally up, and it failed below the 21 EMA on the 5 minute. So here it is. It needs to stay below, stay bearish, stay below this 21 EMA. And then Microsoft's still looking very bullish, potentially creating a bull flag right now. So Microsoft still looks bullish. It could either break out here on this bull flag or fail through and come for the VWAP test. But overall,
Order filled.
NASDAQ's coming down. Good. Needed to keep going. Swap over to the 5-minute chart. So this barely has made a move just yet. It's just a little bit of a move. We want to see it ideally come down and sweep these lows here. If it comes down and tests this bottom of this channel, it's probably going to bounce. And like it'll still be mega bullish if it just stays above this. We ultimately want this to come down, test this, sweep these lows, test this, chop around a little bit, and dump further. Maybe into to test like this high, for example, this overnight high. That would be about 25,850. That would be a 100-point drop from the tippy top here. So about 75 more points from where we're at right now. But it's going to be pretty hard because bulls have been buying every single dip. Okay, we're getting our first sell signal on Frick's indicator here as well. See if this sweeps this low. Probably will here any moment. Sweeping this low will probably stop out some longs, I'm guessing. Just bounced before it. Skip below here, sweep and stop out some longs, then probably stop out some longs here too. Okay, Nvidia's continuing to sell off. Has not swept the previous low yet. Broadcom continues to rally. Meta bounced a little bit. Could just chop around. Apple's like still moving up like crazy. Apple's trying to move up to its intraday high. So Apple's moving to the upside like insanely. Amazon did bounce a bit, testing the 21 EMA again on the 1 minute. Coming up almost to the 9 EMA on the 5 minute. Oracle did reject, selling off a little bit as well. And Tesla. Okay. Here we go. Here's a big mover. Here's Tesla. So Tesla broke below VWAP. Tesla's testing that 450 level. If 450 fails, that's going to be very, very good. If it holds, though, not good. Staying in positive gamma. So it needs to get below 450 and stay below. Google bounced, but now it's testing that 21 EMA on the 1 minute. We need it to reject, continue lower to stay bearish. It's still bullish on the 5 minute, but it did get below those moving averages. We needed to stay below there. Okay, and Microsoft's starting to sell a little bit. So it did reject the 5 minute 9 EMA. It's most likely going to test the 21 here. So just a little bit more down. It's about this level. Okay. Man, but that Apple squeeze, look at that. Apple's squeezing. It's holding up the NASDAQ right now. It just squeezed over intraday high. Really big moves on Apple. Not good. Apple's really holding the NASDAQ while these other guys are selling off. Here's Netflix selling off a little bit. Nvidia bouncing just slightly here. That is some big volume on these bounces. Buyers coming in. We should see 26,300 in 2 days. Maybe we'll see. Okay, I hear those buyers coming in. Not good. Not good. Apple's still jumping. Amazon testing these levels again. Needs to reject here. Tesla continuing lower. Tesla's below 450. Perfect. Needs to stay below 450. If it does not stay below 450, that's it for us. Google's holding. Not good. Tesla's dumping though, that's good. Keep it going. I mean, how far does Tesla go though? 445 looks like some support. Oracle looks like it has support there. Google looks bullish. Tesla has support like right under here. Microsoft bullish. Amazon like slightly bearish but overall bullish. Apple mega squeeze. The only thing we could hope for is retracement. Meta looking bullish. Broadcom bullish. Hoping for retracement, I guess, on Broadcom. Nvidia looking slightly bearish. Well, I mean, it's bullish actually, but as far as like right now, potential bearish for the short time. And then Netflix still bearish. Okay. Definite battle going on here, guys. Let's hold in this level. We need it to sweep. Okay, good. So 25,920 needs to break down. I think that stops out some longs. Okay, we got 38 minutes of market open left. Buyers trying to hold this. Losses come from fighting the trend instead of trading with it. Agreed. Agreed. They also come with FOMO. Okay. Okay, perfect. Amazon rejected that moving average. Just reverse position now? No. Not gonna do that. Okay, Google's failing down. Okay. Here we go. So here's Netflix. Still sitting there. Here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA bounced a bit off this support. We want NVIDIA to fail below and stay below that VWAP and fail below down to this direction. Broadcom's still looking bullish. Meta's coming up to retest VWAP, so a little scary. Apple potentially working in a retracement. Amazon, here we go. Amazon rejected the moving average. Now we need it to break this level. It's a little bit of consolidation between these two levels. We need it to break below. Okay, Oracle, bit of a bounce there. It was a bit of support. And then Tesla, still sitting below 450, but it's very, very close. It's like right on the line. So it fell below 450. Now it's coming up and testing 450 right now. This is 450 on the dot. This line right here, the top of that wick on the 1 minute. That's 450 on the dot. So sellers need to keep it below 450. But then look at this, Google. Google's selling off a bit. So it did continue to
NVIDIA
reject
and Deutsche
these moving
Telekom plan
averages.
€1 billion data
So we
center
need
in Germany.
Google to continue down and test this
SAP to
VWAP.
serve as customer of NVIDIA Deutsche Telekom
And
data center.
Microsoft, here we go, Microsoft coming down to that 21 EMA. Looks kind of bull flaggy-ish, but we'll see. It's good pullback on Microsoft so far. A lot of these other stocks, though, holding it up. Tesla's still testing that 450 level. Google looking like it wants to fall further down. And Amazon needs to fall further down. Apple retracement, Meta. NVIDIA broke above VWAP there. Look at that push on NVIDIA. We'll push on NVIDIA there. That stopped out a bunch of shorts. Potential double top, we'll see. And Netflix is testing VWAP right now. It's a battle. It's a battle, guys. Today's gap is crazy. Yeah, I know. It's pretty nuts. Man, this battle between bears and bulls is like 300 Spartans against the Persian army. That's how these bears are feeling. They're really trying to push it down. Something's got to cave here for it to happen, though. Hey man, I'm gonna give you $30 and you turn it to 50K and we'll split 50-50. Or I'll just lose the $30. I don't even know if I would be able to make $30 into 50K over my whole lifetime. You have to be very lucky. If you lose, you return the $30. That's not worth it. That's a 0% risk loan. If I had the option to do that with like 100,000 people, I would do that 100%. Give everybody $30. Zero risk. This should make a retracement. S&P 500 had a put wall of 780 to 880, more or less. Down pressure should manifest. 780, 880. Are you talking about on the ES? 880. Okay, 920 was holding. Buyers trying to get into control. Technically, sellers are in control right now. It's below moving averages right now. Sellers are technically in control, but overall time frame, bulls are in control. short time frame, bears are in control right now. For us to really get into bears being in control, I think we would need to sweep these levels right here. So approximately 25,890. I think if we break below that and stay below, I think that's when bears get fully in control of this trend. But until then, bulls are still in control. $20 minutes till market on close as well. Okay, testing moving averages. I mean, the thing is, if there was a put wall or call wall at 880, as you're saying, the ES might be in positive gamma then. I haven't like checked those levels or anything, but yeah, if it's a call wall under dang, S&P just tested 6,900. It just hit it. So S&P's pushing, NASDAQ's lagging just a little bit. But yeah, if there was a put wall at 880, 6880 on the S&P, on the ES, then we're probably looking at positive gamma, which is short squeeze potential. Okay, Netflix breaking down further. Nice. Nvidia's bouncing, not good. Nvidia's bouncing. Positive gamma, basically it just means that like a lot of calls are in the money. Which means that, you know, the call sellers will have to start covering their position. Means that they have to buy up to be able to cover those contracts, and it causes like a short squeeze. That's kind of what happened with like Tesla's a really good example of seeing that happen. Because on Tesla you'll have like massive amounts of calls at certain levels or puts, but it's mostly been obvious more on calls. And it gets above that level and buyers keep it above, and like, you know, it's getting to the time of expiration and the price just keeps grinding up, and like investors are just forced to just buy up the stock or the asset or whatever in case like the price keeps moving up, so they could just take their losses. Okay. This has been more bullish than it should be. If this doesn't have a retracement soon, you close the shorts. Yeah, I mean, it's sketch. It's definitely a bit sketch. Bulls are holding it. They're holding it up. It hasn't even gotten like any significant retracement. It's crazy. Maybe, but if it's a gap with strength and volume confirmed, shorts might be squeezed instead. In strong trends, big gaps often trap sellers, not buyers. Yeah, 100% agreed. Oh, when you try to look it up, you get confused. Honestly, I don't know like all of the. It's just something to do with the options. I don't remember if it has something to do with the implied volatility or whatever, or if the implied volatility like got out of whack. Well, all I know is it's basically called a gamma squeeze whenever it's just like in the money, and technically for the sellers it would be, yeah, it would be in the money, so it causes those squeezes. Okay. Okay, Nvidia is now below VWAP. Or sorry, not Nvidia, Netflix. So Netflix started dumping. See if support comes in this level, but started selling off. It is below VWAP. Netflix doesn't move it as much, but just nice to see. Nvidia did get back above VWAP. I mean, it's not looking the greatest for shorts. It kind of double bottomed here. And back above VWAP. So sellers are trying to push it down. You can see that with these wicks. It's not looking the greatest. Broadcom's continuing that bullish move. I would love to see end of day sell-off though. That's kind of what I'm banking on. So here's Meta still below VWAP, kind of chopping around. Apple continuing to squeeze up. I think Apple would be good potential for end of day sell-off. Amazon. Okay, Amazon moved up quite a bit. Now it's testing the 21 EMA, rejecting it. What is moving us? Oracle's selling. Okay, Tesla's back above 450. That's what it is. Tesla's moving us. Google big bounce. Microsoft bouncing. Yikes. Now we're squeezing up. Amazon did reject though. Everything's bouncing other than Amazon. Okay. Squeezing, guys. In strong bull phases, gaps often act as breakaway gaps, not exhaustion ones. Yeah. I mean, agreed. After how we saw the movement going overnight, yeah, it was fairly strong. Just the fact that there was like no real retracements of any sort. Just very strong move up, pretty crazy. It's just crazy to see that happening after, you know, 1, 2, 3 days in a row, including Sunday. It's kind of crazy to see. Okay, we got 11 minutes till market on close. May not survive till then. It's a nasty short squeeze. Okay, Netflix broke below that previous low. You thought Sunday pumped and Monday down? Same here. That is what I was thinking as well. Thank you. I'm all good. Thanks. Okay. Last 10 minutes might see another squeeze. Momentum's not done yet. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Interesting rejection here, though. Just short of the all-time high. Just short of all-time high, and this was a massive squeeze here. This stopped out a lot of shorts. Curious. Oh, I just realized that that Apple squeeze was actually to all-time highs. That's what it was. So it made all-time highs and then early in the morning, consolidated, and then broke out to higher highs, squeezed quite significantly there. Same with Google. Investors aren't booking profits. Buyers are pushing for a higher close, adding to positions. Traders are getting squeezed. It's all playing out at once. Yeah, we'll see. It was also a pretty massive gap up and a big rotation into tech. So I'm waiting for market on close to see a rotation out to balanced portfolios. I would think we get a quick sweep of these levels here. Five minutes. We're heading for a close at the day's high. In fact, a new all-time high. Expect a gap up tomorrow. Another grind higher. I don't know. That's a little bit. If you heard that fart, that was not a real fart. That was the baby's stomach getting blown on. Anyways, I would be a little bit hesitant on like another gap up tomorrow and squeeze. Okay, now Frick's indicator is popping out a buy signal. Let's see. 3.5 minutes till market on close. There's the squeeze there. Popped above the high. Dangerous territory. Big squeeze. Huge volume on that. Tesla's still sitting at that 450 level. Microsoft's selling off a little bit, coming down to VWAP. Google is continuing to push higher. Amazon still kind of grinding up slowly, staying below those moving averages though. Then Apple is just squeezing upward. Meta's above VWAP as well. Broadcom bullish. Nvidia above VWAP 2. Netflix is looking like it's selling off more though. Today volume dropped significantly. Did it really? Two minutes till market on close. Dangerously low on drawdown right now. Minute and 20 left. So where we're going to see a spike in volume. Big spike needed to go down though. Drawdown is dangerous.
1 minute until the market on close imbalance.
I could get blown before market imbalance even happens. 30 seconds, get down. "15 seconds. See what happens here.
10 seconds.
Oh,
Order filled.
Market
way.
on close imbalance. S&P 500.
Okay.
Buy side 197 million.
guess we're gonna have to
NASDAQ
try again
100,
tomorrow.
Sell side 6.5 million.
Wrong
Dow
way.
30 buy side 78 million. Mag 7
Are
sell
there
side 22
150k
million.
TPTs? Yeah, that's what I use. 150ks. I do like them a lot because you got a lot more drawdown. But yeah, this trend line did not work as a rejection point because it did squeeze through. Squeeze through there. So we'll have to try these again. Oh, are these? Yeah, they were 150ks. Massive squeeze. Massive. So we are on the way to 26k then. This is an insane squeeze, guys. I mean, we haven't seen something like this for a long time. I mean, like look at all this. You know what I mean? Like look how all this is. A lot of pullbacks, consolidation, all that. Like, see how this entire graph looks? And then look at this. Like, this does not happen often. This does not happen often. It's very rare. Very rare occurrence. So yeah. 25,970 now. Crazy. I mean, this is definitely good for everybody long-term investing. The portfolio's looking good. I mean, like my 10k challenge portfolio is doing very well. That one's like that's the one that I basically have been posting on the YouTube for a while. And like that thing's up not as much as the NASDAQ today, but it is up 1.3%. So it's definitely a good push. And it's just surprising that treasuries are rallying too. Like treasuries are up as well today. Treasuries, like all tech. I don't see anything in the portfolio that's down. Every single thing is up. It's crazy. Elvin's Health was red during the day, but it went green here toward the end. And now we're up 70% on our Google position. It's crazy. 70% on the Google position, 57% on the CVS, 58% on Alibaba. I mean, yeah, this rally definitely booking some profits. Or not booking, but getting some unrealized profits. But yeah, market on close, not very eventful. Just a quick squeeze up, squeeze higher. So we got about 8 minutes left of market open. Possible it squeezes to 26k. I would think that's a very strong psychological level for potentially like more bulls to step in. Let's see here. And yeah, take a look at our, let's see here. Take a look at our graph of the NASDAQ. So graph on the NASDAQ. This is what happened today. We had this very, very long bullish channel coming up. Any extensions above the channel were rejected pretty quickly, with only really 2 days over the past several months where it stayed above or closed above. We got 1 day right here. Well, I guess we'll say 3 days. But we got one right here, one right here, and then one right here. where it stayed above, where it closed the day above this bullish channel. And what happened here? Well, we got a gap up to the top of the channel, and it squeezed all the way above, and now it's closing literally like way above. We're talking almost 300 points above this bullish channel. So, you know, based on this, we might have to regraph some stuff, but I don't think so. I think this may potentially get some pullback this week. And it's definitely interesting to see this kind of movement going into large tech earnings, also into FOMC. So it'll be definitely interesting to see this week. A lot of volatility probably coming up this week, especially with being so overbought. We are at 89 RSI on the hourly chart. We're at 77 on the 4-hour. The daily, we're not overbought just yet, but the 1 hour and 4 hour are pretty extremely overbought. And they are, on the 4 hour, it's in line with this crazy grind up here. So it's in line with that on RSI. But on hourly, we haven't seen this kind of RSI like at all. I went back like months and I haven't seen the market being this overbought maybe for over a year. So this has been an insane grind. Just looking at these hourly candles, I mean, starting after this gap up, just non-stop rise, almost hyperbolic, where it's not even slowing down, nothing. It's actually increasing. So starting on here and going up higher and higher and faster. So really, really nasty short squeeze that has happened here today. But with that, I think we go to our outro. So, what do we learn today? Well, not much. We learned the market can be pretty crazy sometimes. But I appreciate all you guys for joining. All the new viewers, subscribers. Appreciate you guys. I hope you did all right today. I hope you didn't get squeezed too hard. And yeah, we'll be in it to win it tomorrow. We'll see how it's going to pan out after this move. So, I hope to see you guys in the Discord if you're not in there. We post our wins, losses, talk about our trade ideas and whatnot. So a nice group of people in there that call themselves the Trade Titans. Again, appreciate you guys for joining me today. And yeah, if you're green, great job. You played with the trend. If you held throughout this entire trend, I mean, congratulations on some massive diamond hands, because this was definitely out of the ordinary. But you know what? If you're red, it's gonna be all right. If you're red, you know, you kind of got caught out in a mega trend that does not happen often, like I said, so don't feel too bad. It will be all right, and there will always be other days, other trades. The most important thing is to figure out what's the most important in life other than trading. So I hope you have that figured out. God bless y'all. I hope to see you guys tomorrow bright and early for New York session. Thank y'all for everything, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace out.